Hi, everyone. Welcome to a little bit of woo. I'm your host, Jill Thomas. Oh my God. Welcome, everybody. It's this wonderful, beautiful Monday morning here. It's 8:30 Pacific on Monday, the 9/22. Okay. And I'm here with my good friend, intuitive counselor, astrologer, astrological life coach. And we are going to talk about all kinds of fun stuff. We're going to talk about the eclipses. We're going to talk about Trump and Vance and a whole bunch of other mess of things. I'm sorry if this sounds doing something weird. We're still trying to figure out what's going on with that. So one of these days, I'm going to hire one of you guys because you guys in the comments are always telling me what's wrong. And I'm like, how do I fix it though? Okay. So first thing I want to say is you guys, I have already lost another person I watch on YouTube, got pulled. It was Refashioned Hippie. Remember I told you guys a couple of weeks ago to watch her? She's amazing. She already got pulled again. So I'm just going to say for myself, and I'm Jackleen, I'll give Jackleen a chance to shout on this. Go ahead and sign up for my Substack page if you want to. It's free. If they're not going to charge me, I'm not going to charge you. And it'll just let you know where to find me. I have opened a Podbean account, so I'm still going to be posting videos, or not videos, audio over there. I did get one of my videos was shadow banned, and almost none of you guys ever saw it. So that is absolutely going to go over there next week. And just, I'm going to throw some random stuff over there that YouTube probably wouldn't like.
Okay.
So anyway, the comments in the description, you'll be able to find the link to that. So anyway, what were you saying, Jackleen?
Welcome. Substack is owned by one of those billionaires that lean in the other direction that you lean. So I do think that Patreon could be just
you ruin it for me. Just I didn't even know that. I should have Googled that stuff.
Well, that's okay. I mean, maybe have something both places, right?
Okay.
It can't hurt, right? In this day and age.
That's a good idea.
And all that kind of stuff.
Yeah, let's talk about these days. So what the heck's going on, Jackleen? It's been rough out there.
Oh my gosh, eclipses. So we just yesterday completed the eclipse cycle. We're still going to have fallout over the next couple of weeks. So don't worry if you didn't get your eclipse lessons. And I'm big on telling people about, here's what your eclipse lessons are when I look at your chart. And this is where the eclipse fell. And these are the planets that the eclipse aspected. And these are some things that you might want to nail down or secure or work on or blow up, right? In a big way. So yeah, these eclipses, I don't know anyone. My phone was, I say this ringing off the hook, but that dates me because there's no hooks today. But yeah, everyone got a little bit of a piece of this eclipse, and there toward the end, so did we. The company for which my husband works, a little something happened with the location where he's working. So that might be in question, and where we're living might be a little bit in question. But one of the things I say about eclipses is anything that's not nailed down or is getting a little bit rickety, whether it be a relationship, a job situation, a political situation, it could come loose. There could be some fallout around the eclipses, because what eclipses do is they shake things loose and they show you where the flaws are. And we got a lot of that in the news, didn't we?
Oh Lordy. And a lot of us got it in our personal lives as well. And I love the way you describe it, like something that's not shaken, that not nailed down could be shaken loose. And that's a great way of describing
integrity is compromised, right? If something is not making the money or doing the thing it needs to do, the thing it was designed to do, or whatever, it's like this might be a time where a lot of people lose jobs or look into relationships and say, this isn't really doing what I want it to do, right? So that's one way that eclipses fall on individuals and countries.
Yeah, I love what you're describing too, because I have had I think about what I have. I mean, my way of touching the public is oh, that came off weird. Sorry, guys. Sorry, YouTube algorithm. Is I do readings, and so I get from people what they're worried about, and I had a disproportionate percentage of people who found out that their spouses had Russian girlfriends, let's put it that way, who may or may not have actually been women.
Okay.
And a disproportionate percentage of people either got laid off or worried about getting laid off. So that has sort of been what's been going on last week for my clients. How about you?
Yeah, similar things. People we thought we could trust, we discovered that, I'm not going to name them, of course, but I could rattle off Oh yeah, it's about 10 or so clients discovered, again, some extramarital or some shady business dealings. There was a little bit of that. It comes to light. So there's still a little bit more of that. If the thing you wanted to come to light hasn't come to light yet, i.e., Epstein files or whatever,
Epstein files, yeah. Yeah.
Epstein files. We still have some time
Okay.
within this, but I felt intuitively, look to the next couple of eclipses, and I brought up those charts, and basically we have an eclipse cycle on February excuse me, it's the opposite. The solar eclipse on February 17th and the lunar eclipse on March 3rd. That's sort of going to be an accounting. So this is important time for the individual, what I'm going to tell you, because here we are talking on the day of the fall equinox. And this is one of my favorite days because I love fall. And I think everyone does, right? Pumpkin spice and all that, right? I think it's a little bit too sweet. I have to get it half sweet, but nonetheless. So we're entering into this fall arena, Halloween, Thanksgiving, all that cooler weather for those of us, where it's sunny all the time, right? So here we come into this wonderful time. Today is a wonderful day to look back in your life over the last 6 months and really celebrate the successes. Like, really kind of be a detective, be Sherlock Holmes for here's how I did create some success in whatever, my career, my hobby, whatever. And thank yourself, pat yourself on the back, and celebrate the eclipse, celebrate the changing of the season, celebrate with anticipation what's coming, even if it's just, oh, I like Halloween, I like Thanksgiving. So celebrate that. But also, this is the most important part. Once you've done that, write down what your goals are for the next 6 months. And then find a way, because here we are with that eclipse at that very serious 29 degrees Virgo. Find a way to be accountable to that, because that's basically concentration, focus, and accountability. And if you can put that up on your wall, make yourself where you see it every day. And then build the foundations under those castles, right? And you can see a lot of shifts in your life before that next eclipse.
I love that. I love that idea. And it gets interesting when you're talking about, stuff coming out in the news. Like, I was just thinking about, and by the way, you guys, if you have Verizon, you can absolutely get rid of Disney and Hulu. I know people are like, well, it's all part of my package. We did it last night and it saved us like $40 a month, you guys. You just have to change the package on the
Oh my
Verizon. So
gosh.
I'm like wondering how many people are going to do just that, like as a
They've
result
lost
of.
like 4 billion so far. We were paying $83 for it. I don't know how we were paying that much, because people say, "Oh, I just saved $20. I just saved $40, $10, whatever." I'm like, we just saved 80 some dollars because getting rid of Hulu. So I guess we had we still had ads. So I don't even know. Maybe we were just didn't get a good deal on it. I don't know, but whatever, it's canceled because I would rather not see The Handmaid's Tale than live it.
And it's crazy to think that I'm sitting here in 2025 and I'm saying that Disney no longer fits my values or beliefs. And
Oh
I'm like,
my
what
gosh.
the
And
heck?
remember when everyone had Disney's back against DeSantis, right?
Yeah.
Um, so yeah, their
Yeah.
corporate responsibility um, is no more, I think, for the most part. Let's all go to farmers markets and thrift stores, and I think that's a good way to do it anyway. Mom and pop businesses, right?
I do. I love that. And I'm sure, Jackleen, because you're a smart person. I'm sure you can come up with a better way to spend that $83. I'm just thinking.
Oh, totally, totally. Yeah. Especially since our kind of,
Oh,
you know,
yeah.
employment prospects are a little bit, blowing in the breeze. So
I'm sorry.
for the time being, we're fine. But I kind of almost had to laugh that it happened during an eclipse, right? It was something we knew that was coming. We were pretty sure it was coming, right? And had been coming for years. But yes, during an eclipse, things do shake loose.
So, how much longer are we going to be dealing with this extremely intense situation? Oh no, don't even say it. Like 6 months. Like
No, no, yeah, because I was drawn to look at the charts of the next eclipse. I'm like, okay, it didn't happen during this eclipse, right? Whatever it might be, the shift in power, the reckoning, accounting is the word. That's the word that came to me when I thought of these upcoming eclipses. And that's how I got off on the tangent of telling people this is the thing you want to do today. Oh, by the way, the fall equinox happens at 11:19 a.m., I believe. That just happens, that's an astrological phenomenon. The sun moves into Libra. That's all that is. That's what triggers the fall equinox. So it's all astrological. And so the sun moves into lovely Libra, which is the diplomats. And it's just a nicer time in general. It does soften things a little bit. So we're gonna have that, although we're still in the fallout for the next couple of weeks. We're still gonna be getting our eclipse lessons, I think, over the next month until we get to the next full moon, because this started with a lunar eclipse. So we went until we get to the next full moon, then we're still dealing with the eclipse
what's the date on
energy.
that? Like 2 weeks?
Was that October 8th or something? I have it over here.
Hey,
Yeah,
Jackleen, can you turn down your speaker of me? Because I think the feedback's on your side.
Oh, really? Okay. So
Yeah.
how do I just turn down my sound or
Yeah, just so that you can't hear
on
me
my?
as loud. If you
Okay.
Yeah, I
Okay.
think that's what it is, but maybe I'm wrong. Okay.
Okay. I'm not hearing anything weird, but in our
Yeah,
last
I can
one,
hear it, but that's okay.
my mic was off, so there was something. I was trying to toggle between two computers. I
You
believe
guys are
that's
all good now. So, okay, so
October.
October, like 8th-ish,
I mean,
roughly.
we're still sixth. Excuse me,
Oh, sorry.
sixth here on the yeah. Around that, it will have lessened a little bit, but it's just like ringing. It's like a banging a gong, right? It's reverberates for a while, really until for a month or so after. But these next 2 weeks are going to be kind of eclipse fallout. We're gonna,
So
if you haven't had your eclipse lessons yet, you will. And that's what I'm telling people between now and the next eclipse, whatever lessons came up, and you can either go to an astrologer and I'll tell you exactly what your eclipse lessons are, but you may know it was the thing that happened that really pissed you off or really made you kind of unproportionally sad, you know, relative to the event that happened, right? It's like,
mm,
wow, I'm crying over this, whatever. And it really isn't. So it's like, look where our reactions are heightened. A lot of emotions are heightened right now. So we're still
interesting.
going to be in that for the next couple little reverberations happening.
So the next 2 weeks politically, can you say of anything that you think might happen? Like, I
Well,
know, yeah.
yeah, I'm looking. Okay, so we were talking about Vance and Trump, right? And I want to kind of go ahead here in a little into the future and imagine that
Please.
two guys came to me to look at their solar return. The solar return is it's your birth, it's your new year that starts on your birthday, right? It's when the sun comes back to the place you were born. And imagine these two guys that came to their friendly neighborhood astrologer, or they went zoomed in, or called their astrologer, and one of them was Donald Trump and the other was JD Vance. And they both wanted the same job that they, were highly unqualified for. Um, and I looked at the chart of Donald Trump and it looks like, okay, it's all right. There's some things, there's some squares, he's got some friends, right? There's friends there. Sextiles are the friendly aspects. But he's got some squaring. And then I look at Vance's chart and he has the grand trine. The grand trine is the most fortunate aspect in astrology. So if I were reading your solar return, if you came to me and said, you know what, Jackleen, I want to this year, I'm really going to go for that big job. I know I'm not qualified for it. I know I don't have enough experience for it, but I really want to make this leap. And I've got some friends in the high places and I think I can do it. And I'll look at that chart and I'm like, yeah, you got a grand trine. There's one other guy's in the way. Look at his chart. Well, it doesn't look as good as yours, JD. It doesn't have that grand trine. It looks like you've got more friends now. Something has shifted, around the time of your solar return, which was August 2nd. So, yeah, I would look at these two solar returns and I would say, yeah, you have a good shot at that job. Um, and it looks like you've got the friends, you've got everything. There's a little squaring, not as much as the other guy. So it looks like you have a decided advantage.
So Vance has an advantage here. Okay. Is there any timeline on when I love well, somebody in the comments worded it. I'm not wishing anything bad on anyone. I never do. I only want the best. And I know that there's
Right,
bigger
right.
thing going on that we don't know about.
Right.
Somebody referred to it as a dirt bath. And I wondered if there was anything in the comments of somebody taking a permanent dirt bath.
Lord. Okay.
That's a great way of wording it. I'm not wishing that, but I was just like,
right.
I mean,
I'm not looking at that so much.
Does that even show up in the charts? I don't.
When I talked with you before about Trump's solar return, and we've all had squares in our solar return, like important, difficult, hard,
Okay, got it.
important squares, and none of us have died yet, right?
Okay.
I mean, he's having some health problems. We know that, right? He's having some, I would say, cognitive issues that I pointed out, before last November, but they have seemed to have worsened, right? So there are issues. I am not sure exactly how this happens, and like I said, I don't wish ill on anyone either. So I just know, going back to Vance, that there's a very fortunate time for him. For whatever reason, I was looking for good fortune in his transits. And not only is there good fortune in his solar return and the opportunity to kind of reach further than, he would normally reach, but even as early as the first week of October, and I'm not saying that is anybody's demise or anything like that, there are some really fortunate transits. And then I've got more around December 18th through the 27th, where he's just got this string of amazingly good transits, which I do these transits for my clients and to tell them, hey, this is a lucky time for you to do A, B, or C, right? I hardly ever see this much of a string of like only good stuff. So whatever that means, right? Maybe he's just having a great vacation because he loves to go on vacation. Vice president, there's not much to do, right? Go on vacation, right? If you can go on the taxpayer's dime, if you can go on vacation, why not? Right? So maybe it's just
we would all do it. Let's be honest. Let's be honest. We would all do it.
Okay. Yeah. I mean,
if we had a chance, we would do it.
I'm just, he's like the lady in waiting, right? And he's just waiting. And so he might as well go have fun. He can go to Disneyland now. Probably the lines are a lot.
There's not going to be a line.
I hope I don't get hate from my people, but
we all get hate sometimes.
Go on a Disney cruise.
There you go. Yeah, and it doesn't have to be that somebody leaves the planet for. I have always seen, I've said this before, and I've seen that I think that 47 will leave office, for health reasons before he permanently, for health air quotes health reasons, I've seen, and before he leaves for the permanent situation. But and that's what I think is going to happen. But I love that you gave some timeline to this, because that is sort of interesting to see when like Vance could advance. The other thing that's causing people to lose sleep, I don't know if you can talk on this one, but people are asking about like acts of war. What's going on in Europe? And my European clients are like, you have no idea how much censorship is going on right now in Europe. And I didn't know.
Well, we're still in that, when we talked last, we talked about the lone wolf stuff. And lo and behold, I have to go back and listen to that. I'm not so concerned with being right or being accurate, really. But that's kind of more unfortunately, what I'm seeing is this kind of lone terrorist in the, that kind of stuff still happening. But yeah, there's definitely war. There's unfortunate things happening in Gaza continually. I was just reading a post that I agree with 100%. When's Jesus coming back? Because everyone's in this rapture thing, right? The rapture comes around every few years, and then they're gonna go rapture to heaven. Well, Jesus has already come, and he's been the immigrant. He's been the child in Gaza. He's been so many things that we have unfortunately not given really, we haven't done our best with, let's put it that way.
It kills me, and I don't know. It's a tough situation. It's very sad, but it kills me that those pew pew things, for YouTube contact, for those of you who don't know why we say it that way, those pew
Right.
pew things have "Made in America" written on them. That just kills me. That just bothers me.
Yeah, it bums me out. And the whole thing about Charlie Kirk, yes, that was very, very sad.
It was
But
very
there
sad.
was a school shooting that happened.
On the same day.
Yeah.
Yep.
So, and what did we concentrate on? So I always look at any event, who benefits, right?
Yeah.
And we always have to follow the money, unfortunately, because that seems to be our MO here in this country. It's like, what happened? What's going on right now with this funeral and all that, right?
Yeah, it's a tough one. I gotta say too, though, for me personally, and you guys can take this for what it is. Sometimes I have to sit back and say, can I do anything about this?
Right.
No. But I can work on my website, and I can work on my business, and I can go to the gym and work on my body. And sometimes we do have to step back and go, okay, what can I do for me? Because this I can't do anything about, and it's just
Right.
too
But
upsetting.
then I want to say, what can I do
And the
for
broader,
it? Because again, that Virgo, I want to bring back that intense Virgo concentration that we've had over the last month, right? With these eclipses and the lessons that we will be sort of accounted for, judged on, it's coming up. I want to say February, March time period. So we really should look at this 6 months. What do I, part of this goal that we're putting up on the wall is, what do I do? Even in a small way, maybe it's working for the food bank, or, you know, some type of volunteer work, maybe something you believe in politically to help organize. But whatever that might be, you want to do something that is outside yourself, as well as going to the gym, certainly, as well as going to yoga class and taking care of yourself. Because that's also Virgo. Your health is Virgo, right?
I love that. That's a good way of putting it. Um, Currently, there is another hurricane barreling towards the East Coast. Is that something that the astrology kind of leans more to? I
Always,
don't know.
always there. And there was in Afghanistan, I believe there was an earthquake. Um, and so around the eclipse, we do get just a little bit more concentration of, natural disasters and things like that. So yeah, I wouldn't be surprised to see that being a difficult situation. Again, what this eclipse told people, and if they listened to us last time, it was really shore up what you need to shore up. Have your insurances in a row, your ducks in a row, and have everything, preventive done, because Virgo is also the sign of prevention, right? It likes to be prevention rather than the cure.
I love it.
Likes to be the thing that you've done already, the preparation.
So what I'm hearing you say, and I want to put words in your mouth, but I'm just going to kind of reiterate that for the next 6 months, it's good for us to make some goals, take some actions toward it, look to the greater community in terms of what we can offer to the world as best we can. Acts of service, I love that. What else do you see? You said that stuff coming in September, February 17th and March through the March 3rd period. Is there anything else that you're seeing that we can kind of like, okay, maybe I need to do a little something to prepare for that kind of thing? What do you see?
There's more economic, as you talk
Yeah.
about the economics. there's more difficulty in store, I'm afraid, right? Before it gets better, it will probably get a bit worse. I think you mentioned on your podcast, and I haven't looked real deeply into this, that you think when Vance comes in, he will somehow be a little bit chill, a little bit less far right than he is now. And
I was thinking I felt a little bit more impulse control. And I also just felt like he wasn't going to have he wasn't going to have the support to be able to do it the same way that 47 did. That was my sense.
okay.
I'm not saying that he's any better or worse or any of that. I just think that I think he probably does see that he doesn't have the cult following that we see with 47. People just love him.
Well,
And
we are going through a little bit of a decultification right now.
okay.
So that's another thing that shows up in Trump's solar return, right? This what I've been talking about with Saturn and Neptune being so close together. It's like critical. Saturn is critical thinking, and Neptune is religious or cult like zealotry, right? And so that's kind of coming to people you may not have thought it would come to. I mean, you see even Ted Cruz and other Republicans speaking out against, Jimmy Kimmel, for example, that some of the things that are happening are beginning to be a bridge too far for some people that you wouldn't even thought they would have been, a bridge too far for. So I think that's encouraging because we don't want authoritarianism, right? Right? We don't.
Right, right.
Most people would agree with that. Read an article in the Atlantic that was a little bit chilling about how authoritarianism is everything's kind of normal until it's not. So there'll be a moment, a tipping point kind of thing. So we have another chance. We have sort of an accounting um, around February, March time period before the next equinox, before the spring equinox.
One analogy kind of I think of when I think about this way you're describing it is, and you tell me if you're not seeing it this way, but when you're dealing with a narcissist, and everybody watching has, it's just it's always a little bit too far and a little bit too far. It's not like they go nuclear right away, but they go just a little bit more into your boundaries, and then a little bit more, and a little bit more.
Away with that,
huh?
They can keep going if they get positive reinforcement, like, oh, we're not going to prosecute you for January 6th, right? We're not going to impeach you for January 6th. You're not going to be removed for that. Oh, okay, I can do more January 6th type stuff. Exciting, right? That was another thing that I wanted to say, because I'm wondering, you said you think he's going to leave office. I think they have to pull him out by the fingernails to leave office. So there would have to be some, and I'm not saying there won't be, that would be the result of some very deep pressure, like we're going to release the Santa's naughty list, right? Did you see that Jimmy Fallon thing where he's like being bleeped over, where he's like he's talking about Trump's good friend Jeffrey, and then it goes in there, Goldblum, right? Like
oh my god, that's funny.
That's funny one to look up. So
I love that. Yeah, it's yeah. I do love the idea of that naughty list coming out. And it's interesting to see
the Goldblum list.
the Goldblum list. I do love the idea that both sides really want this, and there's like almost nothing that we all totally agree on.
Like, right.
That.
I mean, for years, my Republican cousins have been Epstein list. It's going to come out. Bill Clinton, you're toast, right? Okay, I don't care if you're toast. I'll take the Clinton flag off my truck.
Like, did anybody not know that? I shouldn't say this. Allegedly for entertainment purposes only. Did anybody not suspect that this person who was involved with a Monica Lewinsky in the Oval Office might not have known Epstein? I don't know. Like, did we all? Would this be a surprise? Would be what question?
We'll see. Innocent until proven guilty. Let's hope whoever is guilty at some point gets proven guilty. You still think it won't come out at all?
No, I think it'll come out. I just don't think we'll ever see all of it. I think there's a few people who know a few people who are going to make sure that their name doesn't end up out in the public. That's my theory. Okay,
Yeah.
and I also think we may never know.
Revealed that that's going on, right?
What'd you say?
That's already been revealed that that's going on within the DOJ. Yeah.
There you go. But I'm happy to be wrong. I'm happy to be wrong on that. I would love to see.
Happy to be, yeah,
every
I
one
hear
of those
you.
people.
I think it might, a little bit more might come out. There's been some distraction. Let's just put it that way. There's been quite a bit of distraction from that, but it's not going away.
Yeah, that makes me happy. But that at least as Americans, we can agree that that ASA of children is not okay, and that none of us are okay with that.
100%. And that points to this theory that I feel like I've been that that person that's saying this crazy stuff I've been saying for a while. There's more unity. There really is. We're moving toward more unity, and look for it where you can find it. So anyone that disagrees with what I've said here, let's find out what we don't disagree on.
I love that.
That's what I really want. That's what you really want. That's what I think we really all want, is to not be at odds with each other.
I agree. And the media wants us at odds with each other because that sells shit.
That sells. And we can't really trust the legacy media, because there was a lynching. There was a lynching around the time of the Charlie Kirk incident. There were 2 lynchings in Mississippi.
Oh, I saw that.
0
I know.
media coverage. Was I not supposed to say that? There was.
I don't know. We'll find out. We'll find out today, later, if nobody watches this video.
People are watching this besides yourself. We shouldn't have said the L word. I'm sorry if I said that, but that's exactly what happened.
But that's what happened, right? And did you find out on YouTube? Like, I found out because somebody posted it on
Threads.
YouTube.
I'm kind of a lurker on Threads. I'm not a, I don't post regularly, but it's an interesting place to get news that isn't out in the news. Blue Sky as well. Blue Sky.
Okay. Interesting. Yeah, I wondered about that. I was starting to wonder if legacy media wasn't in deep yogurt because of this. Because the FCC has something on them, like the Comedy Central is cable, so they can use the F word if they want to some extent. But legacy media they have to go through the FCC and it can be regulated.
The FCC. Look at this FCC head and the memes he's putting out, and The Office, this kind of thing. Oh my gosh, this is what we're dealing with. So some of that, you're right. I think you mentioned Kash Patel. You mentioned perhaps
I think he's gone.
Junior. Yeah. Some of this might have to shake out. And gleefully, you mentioned, to my glee at least, Linda McMahon. Oh my gosh, right?
A1, the A1 lady.
Some of this clown car, could that get a little lighter? Can we get some actual? I don't know. I think you're right that Vance will probably bring in more, at least outwardly sensical people.
I want an actual doctor. I want an actual licensed medical professional in charge of the FDA or involved in the FDA or the CDC.
That'd be great. Yeah.
Wouldn't that be great?
Because Tylenol does not cause autism.
Allegedly.
Okay.
For entertainment purposes. No, it doesn't. We are not doctors.
Maybe that's a word I shouldn't have said either.
Who watches this video will know why.
If you can never see this, and we're just talking to ourselves, well, it was a great chat.
It's on Podbean. We'll put the whole thing on Podbean where it doesn't matter. I love that. Okay, so all kinds of fun stuff. What do we need to do? Because obviously these things, there's good with this energy too. I mean, I can feel my creative spark.
Tremendous. It's a house cleaning. And I hope you cleaned your house. I do. Or did something. I spent, I'm a last minute kind of person. But I spent Saturday just cleaning out my office and getting ready for it to be what I want it to be. Right. So, I got a sort of a little office makeover, and been just kind of did that part first. But now we're in Libra. Well, when you're watching this, we'll be in Libra because at 11:19 a.m. I think is the equinox. So we'll be in Libra. So if you cleaned, now you can decorate the thing you cleaned, right? The room that you cleaned. And so, and you can have little parties because that's Libra too, in the room that you've cleaned, hopefully.
I love that. I will say one thing too on a positive note is that with a lot of people, I am seeing new opportunities coming, and they're coming from unusual and unexpected places.
Yes. Yeah.
And if that's you and you're sitting in the dumps and you're like, I don't know what to do. I don't all this it's going to shake out. Like the pendulum is going to swing the other way and it's going to start to work again. But
Right.
it might look differently than it did before.
New normal, right?
Anything else you want us to know about? Anything we should know to know good stuff coming?
I just think that really focus on the unity, focus on the areas that you can talk to that aunt or sibling where you couldn't before, right? Things that were off limits. Well, can we talk about this? Because I think we agree on this, right? And so starting to build some of those bridges, I think is very favorable right now. And
I love that. I have a MAGA hairdresser and I love her. I love her, but I like talking to her because I like to get her perspective. But there was one thing we 100% agree on. We are all being lied to all the time. And I'm like,
right,
amen. At
right,
least like we're there and we all want the Epstein files
100%.
to come out.
Yeah, and that's kind of been par for the course. Whoever's in power, there's certain things
That's
that we're,
so true.
Biden didn't release the Epstein files either, right? So that's been there. Government has not been straight with us for whatever reason. My husband's all into the UFO stuff.
Ooh, I love that stuff.
Very interesting, right? And he's into the ancient Egypt stuff and where there's been did the ancient Egyptians really make these very precise bowls like within the hairline? Like did they really, who had the tools to do that? I mean, was there really you know an advanced civilization before the Egyptian? I mean, so really interesting stuff right now coming to light. So it's not all bad political stuff, but also just other knowledge that's been kind of gate kept, I guess I want to say.
That's a good way of putting it.
More in the public domain, and I'll give kudos. Hey, YouTube, yay, for allowing some of this. I mean, there's dark and light in that. Remember COVID and all the rabbit holes that people went down around that time.
I may have gone down a couple of those myself. I'm not gonna lie. You guys.
No, definitely.
I was not sure about a few things.
Yeah, because some of these are very well produced, and there's certainly ways that they can hook you in, right? So I understand it. I get it. There are some. I think everyone has at least one pet conspiracy theory.
I got like a couple.
It's just Kennedy, right?
I got a couple more. Yeah. I think all of these like Diddy and all of these are all connected. There's all these little yeah.
Wow. Yeah. Up with a little slap on the wrist, Tom.
So since nobody's gonna watch this, since we're gonna demonetize, since we used all the words we're not supposed to use.
Did he do that? Right.
I love that. Okay. Any final words? Anything? We actually need to pardon me. Need to know where to find you. Sorry, I'm still like recovering from this. I talked to a doctor about this because I have some doctors as clients, and they think it might be the vid that everybody's got because everybody got sick.
It was weird. You know what? My husband said this feels exactly like COVID. It didn't test like COVID. It did not test for COVID. My kid was out of school for a week, and I got a few sniffles, but like something in my chest, real light, but still, yeah. So who knows?
Who knows? I'm not a doctor. Don't listen to me. Don't listen to me.
No. I like what you say. Call a doctor. Call a stockbroker. If you need one of those professionals, call them.
Don't listen to me.
Astrologer.
I need an astrologer. And I do, guys, I call an astrologer. Like I wanted to get the dates because I've written 3 books, and I found the first one. I released it on a rather unfortunate date. And then somebody said, that was like the worst day of the year you could have done it. Astrologer looked at the date, and I'm like, well, okay, the results were predictable then. Exactly what happened. And then the other 2, I got better dates from. I think I got a date from you, and I think I got a date from another astrologer. And I think it's that kind of thing is very helpful because it was just like a little bit of money to get a better, and I felt better about the release.
Thank you for saying that, because this is this little transit, these charts of transits that I looked at for JD Vance. Thank you. You're welcome, JD.
You're welcome.
As we wait to stage your takeover or whatever. And and I saw this luck for him in two different places, like extraordinary luck. He's got really good luck this year because of that solar return. Have your solar return done because it tells you what to focus on during the year. If you wanted to take over the government and stuff.
There you go.
I'm an astrologer first. But yeah, I do lucky days, on request, right? And I tell people know when at least the void of course moons are, and don't have your surgery then, don't get married then, don't sign important documents then. Okay. So I post that on my Patreon, as well as other just general lucky days, but there's specific lucky days to
I keep track of those lucky days, and that's when I ask people if they want to be on my show. If you've gotten an email from me asking if you want to be on my show, I guarantee you it was because Jackleen told me a certain date was going to be good for that. So just telling you guys.
Yeah. And general lucky days work for that too, putting out a request because everybody's happier during a general lucky day.
Love it. Okay. Any final thoughts? Where can people find you? Obviously we want them signing up for your Patreon, especially now that I know that should have given Patreon a little bit more look, but Substack's so easy to deal with. I got to admit.
Yeah.
Anyway,
I've heard some good things about Substack, but I listened to this other podcast, which is Elizabeth Crony's McLaughlin Resistance Live. And she was saying, the Patreons sort of run in such a way that they are kind of being resistance and pushing back against censorship, and that not that Substack has done anything wrong, but the people that own Substack are kind of more the friends that we were talking about of the administration.
Okay,
so
good to know.
And again, like ABC, who knew that was going to happen, right?
Right, that came out of nowhere.
We kind of knew something along those lines were going to happen because
they always do.
Happens around eclipses, and you give a authoritarian a bone, they want the other bone.
Ask Columbia University how they feel about that.
Right. Yeah, I have clients that are working for universities and having a hell of a time right now.
I was hearing that too.
With the trying to regulate the information. So
very sad. So any final thoughts? Anything we need to know before we close it?
Again, happy fall. Put up your goals. Put some service in there. You'll get it back. You'll definitely get it back.
Love it. Give some food to the food bank. I feel like there's nothing more personal than helping to literally feed your neighbor. That means a lot to me. And as a hypnotherapist, I will tell you, and I've said this before, when I see clients with eating disorder issues, you ask them about their food insecurity from their childhood, and they always have a lot of stories to tell in that. So it always seems to have something to do with it. So that one, to me, more so than not having presents or stuff, seems to be very detrimental to childhood more happiness.
Right.
My personal take on that one.
Yes.
Okay. So how can they find you? We're going to put all that stuff in the description, but sometimes people like to hear it.
You can read about me, schedule a session if you are so drawn. And of course, Patreon. And I have a YouTube channel that I have tens of viewers on.
Tens of viewers, Jackleen, that's great.
That'd be great.
And in case you don't know how to spell her name, it's actually right on the screen right now, JackleenHolton.com. See, there you go. There you go. Okay, you guys, thank you so much for watching. If you got to see this, I know we used all the words we're not supposed to. That's all part of the fun. And maybe 3 of you will watch it. Thank you for watching and subscribing and liking. And we love you guys, and we'll see you again soon. Okay, bye everyone. Love you. Bye.